Well, hello everybody, and thanks for being patient. We were just getting a bit of a late start. It's been one of those days. And how do you like the logo here? We are the champions of the world, the Dodgers. After 32 long, long, long years, are finally the champions of the world. They won the World Series this last Tuesday night, and I could not be more happy. And I know Well, and we're going to get this show rolling because it's going to be a great night. It's going to be Sarah Nimitz night here on Jam and Java. And we're going to start with a prayer like we always do with Pastor Chuck Pearson. Now, Pastor Chuck is a Denver Rockies fan, and so he's not very happy about the World Series. So I'm sure that he doesn't have anything nice to say about my beloved Blue Dodgers here. But he's going to be more blue now and as a Rocky. But let's take it over. Send it over to Pastor Chuck Pearson to lead us in prayer. Take it away, Pastor Chuck. Hold on, let me get that. When you do that, though, oh Lord, here we go.
Hey, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend and hope this day went well for you. Here we are in November, and it's election day tomorrow. And maybe, just maybe, after tomorrow is over, we won't hear any more of this political stuff. But I wouldn't count on it. Yesterday was All Saints' Day in churches that follow a liturgical calendar, as ours does. And we had a great worship service yesterday. Pastor had a good message, and Robbie did his usual outstanding job. And if you'd like to catch that, you can find it at Facebook Watch at Trinity Lutheran Simi. That should get you there. I think there's also a YouTube that has basically the same address. The epistle lesson for yesterday was from Revelation 7, verses 9 through 17. And in this, John gives us a picture of the victory celebration that is in heaven after the final conflict is over. But a part of that victory celebration is a beautiful promise that you and I can focus on. And John writes these words, talking about all believers who are gathered around the throne. And that includes all believers when he wrote this and all believers today, everyone who comes to him and is a part of him. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more. The sun shall not strike them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb in the midst of the throne will be their shepherd, and he will guide them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. I have a nephew who's a pastor in Thornton, Colorado at Shepherd of Peace Lutheran Church there, and part of his sermon, he focused on this passage, as did Pastor, but he asked this question, and I think it's important for us to think about. He asked people to raise their hands. He said, raise your hands if you think anybody in heaven cares about who wins the election tomorrow. I don't think they do. Do you? Well, you can apply that to a lot of our life. Raise your hands if you think God or anybody in heaven cares whether the Dodgers won the World Series. Sorry, Robbie. Raise your hand if you think anybody in heaven cares about the fact that my Broncos literally beat the Chargers in the last second of the ball game yesterday. I don't think anybody cares. That's the kind of stuff you and I get concerned about. But that's not the focus of the people in heaven. The people in heaven are focused on the Lamb who has saved them and brought them through this. What does that mean for us? Well, one person put it this way. After the election is over, we can still guarantee these results. Or after everything we go through in life, are experiencing in life, we can still guarantee these things. God will be on his throne. Jesus will still be King of Kings and Lord of Lords. The Bible will still have all the answers to every problem. The tomb will still be empty. Jesus will still be the only way to heaven. Prayer will still work, it will still make a difference, and God will still answer prayer. The cross, not the government, will still be our salvation. There will still be room at the cross. Jesus will still save anyone who places their faith and trust in him. And God will still be with us always. He will never leave us or forsake us. That's the promise. And that's the guarantee. No matter what you're going through today, no matter what you go through in the future, these things are true. Would you pray with me? Father in heaven, we just thank you for this time together when we can celebrate everything that you've done for us in music and in song, and think about things that may not be important in heaven, but they're important to us. And they're a part of the joy and the celebration that you give us in this life. Help us to find peace. Help us to find joy. Be with those, Father, that are suffering in any way or shape or form from any of the diseases that are so prevalent in our society and our world, and especially, Father, from this COVID thing. Relieve us. Help the doctors and nurses to find solutions. Be with our president and the governors and our state legislatures and the Congress. Father, may we all serve you. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, Robbie, tell us about the Dodgers, will you? God bless everyone.
How'd you know I was going to talk about the Dodgers, Pastor Chuck? I've been waiting 32 years, brother. You know, what can I say? 32 years ago, number 32, Sandy Koufax, of course, my big hero. 32 years ago, Clayton Kershaw is 32. The owner, one of the owners of the Dodgers, is number 32. Magic Johnson and L.A. Lakers and Dodgers. So we're going to celebrate. And you're probably right. They don't care in heaven about the Dodgers winning the World Series. Although I've heard Tommy Lasorda talk about the big Dodger in the sky. You know what I mean? But so without further ado, as I said earlier, I am so excited tonight because our guest tonight, I've known since she was a young teenager, and this young lady is a star. We've had a bunch of different stars on this show in various nights, and this lady is more than a star. She's a superstar. And I'll tell you what, get her autograph while you still can if you do know her, because her star is on the ascent in a very fast manner. So with no further ado, I'm going to bring on my friend, Miss Sarah Nimitz. Come on, Sarah. There you are.
Hello! I'm here. I've made it.
You made
I'm
it.
finally here.
Where are you though? That doesn't look like, that looks like Chicago. I have a feeling.
It looks like no. This is LA.
Oh, I'm
This
sorry. I should know that, shouldn't I?
I wanted to celebrate for your Dodgers just a little bit. You know, got LA back here.
For people who don't know that you are a baseball fan, which is way cool, but you're a
I
Cubs
am.
fan.
I am a Cubs fan. Yes, and it's true. I don't think in heaven they care about the Dodgers having won, but I do think they were definitely celebrating in 2016 when the Cubs took the World Series.
Yeah, they probably were because it had been
Yeah,
so long.
it had.
Yeah, 32 years is nothing to a Cubs fan, is it?
That's right.
Well,
No.
how many years was it? Was it 108 or something like that?
108, I believe. Yeah, I was crying backstage. It was so moving. Oh,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Interesting. So, well, I'll tell you what. Well, we heard Pastor Chuck talking about yesterday, Sunday, uh, was All Saints Day in the Lutheran Church, and for
Hmm.
people who don't know about you about your faith, you are a good Lutheran. You go to Bethlehem SCV Lutheran Church,
I do.
and
Yes. Yeah. I mean, my faith is something that inspires me. You know, gets me out of bed in the morning, and I really am so grateful for just the gift of music. It really is. It is such a gift to have that in your life, whether it's your career or just something you play on the turntable. But you know, I think that it's really one of the greatest gifts. That and coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to be able to have those things.
So yesterday, as I said, was All Saints Day. And how
Yes.
do you get to heaven? There's nothing you can do other than trust in Jesus to get to heaven. That's what,
Gift. It's another gift.
and yeah, free gift, right? And you can't
I'm
wait
all
for a
for
gift.
I'm all for free and all for gifts. So,
Yeah, such a
it's a
deal.
good thing to me.
And then today is November 2nd. 2 days ago, Saturday night was Halloween, right? October 31st.
Yes,
And even more than Halloween for me, it was Reformation Day,
this is right.
which goes back to, I remember back in the day, and I was hanging out in Wittenberg, Germany, and Martin Luther in 1517 he went and he nailed this 95 theses on the door of the church in Wittenberg. I remember that so well.
I was there. Yeah.
But what he did, he started the Protestant Reformation on that day in 1517, October 31st. And so you and I actually collaborated on a song about working our way to heaven.
Yes, we did. No, it's not knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Amen.
But a lot of you watching, I know we got some Litchfield folks there. And then
Cool.
I know we got some people that are, here at Robbie's home church, but wherever you are, whatever your background is, I think you can rock out to this song. And what we're singing about is just that, what we get from God is a gift. It's not about how cool we can be or how hard we can work. We're just celebrating a free gift.
Amen. Well, let's go to that song that we wrote, and it goes something like this.
Works don't work. Jesus did it all. Nothing counts for nothing in the eyes of the Lord. Works don't work. The cross is the key. His free gift set us free. Alive again. He paid the cost of my gain. I count as loss. Dead to sin when his love came in. Calvary, he set us free. I was lost, now I'm found. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. We're saved by grace through faith. Works don't work. Jesus did it all. Nothing counts for nothing in the eyes of the Lord. Works don't work. The cross is the key. His free gift set us free. Jesus' name can wash away all the sin of yesterday. All my deeds don't mean a thing. Jesus makes me new again. I was lost, now I'm found. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. We're saved by grace through faith. We are saved by grace and not by works. Works don't work. Works don't
Very cool.
Rockin'.
Who said that Lutherans can't be funky?
You know, it's not true. It's not true.
Amen, sister. You know what? So by the way, I should say a word about the other singers and musicians that you saw on there. That is the Trinity Lutheran Praise Band that you saw singing there, which consists of Andrea Hammond, who's a brilliant violinist and great singer and composer and all on and on. Mr. Eddie Hedges, who's also he wears so many hats. He's a producer, he's a drummer, he's a singer, he's a songwriter. This guy is so talented. And then also that was Olivia Barker, who's a brilliant opera singer. And so that is how we're doing our services every Sunday morning at Trinity Lutheran. I almost said Bethlehem. I have to be careful. At Trinity Lutheran, which I'm the minister of music there, and our services are streamed at 9 a.m. California time every Sunday morning, and we have those
Wow,
kind of things.
you've got such talent in that praise team. It's really incredible.
It was pretty good. It's also then great to bring you in there too, and that song you and I wrote together was based on our pastor's sermon that a few weeks ago, and he had that line, "Works don't work," and it's such a great line. And
It is. Yeah, and it was so much fun. I think we wrote that in just a couple days to get it ready, right?
That's right. Yeah.
That was one of those, like a lot of the things we create. Okay, we got a day to do this, or we got two days to do this. Let's see what we can come up with.
It worked out great. Funky.
Yeah.
Now
Funky.
I see on because I've got my iPad here that's sort of working. I'm still dialed in this, and can you see I see a bunch of comments coming in here.
Yes. Yes, I see we've got hello Robbie and Sarah Litchfield here. You got
Hey,
Litchfield
tell us about that.
representing.
Now you were interviewed on WSMI radio the other day with my buddy John Michael Marty, right?
Yes, I was. He was so nice. We got to talk about my new album 2020. We got to chat for about a half an hour. He's the nicest guy.
Yeah, it was
You're connecting me with the whole Litchfield circle.
And he said you've got to bring Sarah to Litchfield on the next Robinson Brothers thing. And I said I tried to have you there the last one we did, but you were too busy.
Well, next time.
Yes.
Right. Whenever COVID finally decides to leave, we can go back then. I hope. I'd love to be a part of it.
So, and I see Jack Matson is on here.
Let me see. Hello.
Jack Matson said, "Right on time, just like live."
There you go. Yep.
Now, Jack Matson, when I was the minister of music over at Bethlehem Lutheran, before you were there, Jack Matson was in the praise team there with us, and now you know
he was
Jack,
with me as well.
Yes.
Yeah. We sang together for many years, and I remember. I wonder, Jack, if you still have that coffee cup of yours, because I remember. Whoop, it's playing back. I remember you always used to bring your own coffee cup to services.
Who did? I did or Jack did?
No, Jack did. He always had his own coffee cup that he would bring. So I would see him up there, and then I would see him, and I would see the coffee cup.
Jack is a great guy, and he was a regular at Jam and Java too. And when we were having it over here, actually playing with the band and all that stuff, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's before we all went digital.
Yeah. Who else is on there? Anybody else that jumps out at you? Hey, I see David Tewksbury on there.
Yes, and we got Todd Tuckey, who is someone I know. He actually just wrote a book, an ebook about my chicken purse nuggets.
You're kidding.
Yeah, which I was sharing on my page. So there's a book. I've got these chicken purses. This one's Henrietta.
Wow.
And I've got nuggets, and so he made an ebook about their story.
Wow, that's pretty cool to have your chicken purses be the topic of a book.
They're more interesting than me, I just have to accept that, and I'm okay with it.
I have a feeling if they weren't your purses, they would not be as interesting.
I don't know. Oh, Jack says he still uses his mug.
Wow. Yeah, I see that. Wow.
Rosalind, a former Litchfield resident.
You know what? Rosalind Schelt I did an interview for her daughter Sunday, I think it was, and she's got an educational outreach, and it was pretty cool. That was,
I remember you
Litchfield.
talking about that.
Yeah, when Litchfield people, it's like if you're from Litchfield, everybody knows everybody, number one, and everybody's
Mhm.
friends. So if you're from Litchfield, you're friends. And I have friends all over the world who are from Litchfield who don't live there anymore, but it's a
It's
great thing.
it's a community wherever you go, huh?
Yep. Well, let's move forward a little bit because you and I actually just got off of another show. uh,
That is right. The great Reach Out with Ray and Steve.
which was a great show tonight. It was so much fun, and you were on
Oh,
it. And tonight we had Bruce Johnston from the Beach Boys. He was on it, and we had Daryl
yeah.
Strawberry,
Strawberry. Yeah.
baseball. No, he's not in the Hall of Fame, but he could have been. That's for sure. Great
Great
baseball
player,
all
great
star.
guy.
Yep. And Haley, what was her last name? Do you remember? A singer.
Gold.
So
Gold.
you and
Gold,
I
yeah.
collaborated on the theme for Reach Out with Ray and Steve. I should tell the audience now. I'm now the music director and co-host of this show for the last couple months now, and so that's moving forward. And it's always fun, and they love having you on there.
It's not enough to just be the music director for Frankie Valley and for the church and he needs a little more work. You just you don't want to take it too easy.
Yeah, I was sitting on my couch too much. I needed something to do.
Just sitting around watching the Dodgers.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, no doubt. And so I'm really having a lot of fun doing this show because every week we have great. It's a three-pronged show in terms of the focus. It's sports, entertainment, and outreach, community outreach. And my buddy Ray Negron, who's been with the Yankees since 1973, is so great at that. And then Steve Acaro, who is the
Such a
other
great
host.
guy. Yeah. Yeah, Steve is wonderful as well.
And so, and that is on 4 o'clock every Monday, 4 o'clock California time every Monday.
That's right.
So you can actually tune in this gets confusing, but it's you can find it on my Facebook page or my not my website, but on my Facebook page, I guess. And
Yeah, because you restream it on here, right?
Yes,
And then
not
also
on Java, but on Robbie Robinson Facebook.
On your Robbie, that's where I see it.
Yep, that's right. So you and I collaborated on the theme, and I thought it'd be fun to show the theme. Now we used bits of our rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" and bits of our center field, and then threw in other things. And so this is the opening theme for Reach Out with Ray and Steve, and it runs every Monday morning, every Monday at the beginning of the show. It goes like this.
Reach out, oh, with Ray and Steve. Reach out, with Ray and Steve. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the car. Root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Play ball.
So that's the opening theme. Very cool. Play ball, yes.
Play ball. You and I had quite a run, no pun intended, of baseball songs we did, huh?
We sure did, and I'm not even going to play any of them tonight because because I played a bunch of them last week, and we have so many things to play, or else the show would go into tomorrow.
We'd have to go into extra innings.
Yeah, exactly. It could be. I'll tell you what. Extra innings. My Pastor Robert Barker, and I in 2018, we went to the World Series game
Wow.
at Dodger Stadium in the game that went 18 innings.
Wow. You know what? I remember that series because I think I was in New York at the time, and it was so much later, and I remember watching TV and just wondering, when is this game going to end? There were some really long games.
And
Talk
I'll
about
tell you
getting
what,
your money's worth.
that experience was I'm still get tired to think about it, because when you go to a World Series game, number one, you're on the edge of your seat for every pitch because it was a close game, and then it goes on for 18 innings. It was at the when it got to the 14th inning, the announcer came on and said, "Okay, everybody, please rise. So we're going to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game for the 14th inning stretch."
Wow.
And then they
That's exhausting. I feel tired just thinking about a game that long.
It was. And then at midnight at the strike, they played Wilson. They had it loud and proud. They played Wilson Pickett singing in the midnight hour.
Nice.
And the whole stadium was rocking, but not unlike. And then at the 18th inning, the bottom of the 18th, Muncy hit a game-winning walk-off home run. And that crowd was. I have some videos I took. And Pastor Barker and we had such a great time at that game, and it was just one of those amazing moments. Then the next game we lost everything, but there you have it.
Yeah, was this against your favorite other team?
No, this was against the Boston Red Sox.
Ah, okay.
I'm not even going to say the word cheating.
This was the World Series. Yeah.
I'm not even going to say that word about those cheating Houston.
No, don't use that kind of language. Here on the show. Oh, we got Tony Galla here.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, pretty cool. Say something about Tony. What do you got to say nice about Tony Galla?
Tony Galla, well, I mean, we could go on and on about his talent, which I'll do for a little bit because he's such an incredible singer, great writer, musician, guitarist, band leader, but also just a really, really great guy. We used to sing together every Sunday. And, I've just been staying home with the pandemic and not going out, but I really, really miss singing with him. Tony, we love you. You are awesome.
Amen, amen, amen to that. Tony is, what a talent, this guy. And he's been on Jam and Java many times, actually.
He has. I've edited him too for a couple. Not edited him, but edited the video for what was the song? Precious Lord.
That's right. That he did for. Yeah.
Did you see we got another comment about some sound stuff? I don't know if you saw that.
And I'm going to accommodate. I see that.
Okay. Nobody wants extra loud Sarah, that's for sure. Ooh.
Yep. And I have a big microphone here. I should say something about this microphone. It was given to me by my dear friend Bob Heil. Bob Heil is the guy I bought my first Hammond organ from. It's the guy I bought my Mini Moog from. It's the guy I bought my Fender Rhodes from. I bought so many things, and Bob Heil is one of the geniuses. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, actually. This guy is a wonderkin. But he has a microphone company. He builds these.
And it's got those awesome lights inside.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? And it's old
school. So cool looking. I just love it.
Well, let's get back to Reach Out a minute, because we were on that show today. And
yes, we were.
As I said, one of the guests was Bruce Johnson, who's in the Beach Boys. Now, Bruce
the legendary.
Johnson, and yeah, I mean, what a great thing. And we played a little bit of a clip. We did it back in the early 80s. We did a record with the Beach Boys and the Four Seasons, and called East Meets West. And it's really kind of a cool thing. But so we played that on the show today earlier. But he also, outside of the Beach Boys, he wrote one of the iconic songs of all time he won a
Yes.
Grammy in 1977 for. And it's an interesting song because the title is
The title is I Write the Songs. And I'm curious if anyone commenting and watching feels the same, but when I first heard this song as a kid, I guess it's one of those songs I've grown up with. I thought, it was Barry Manilow or whoever the protagonist of the song is, basically just going on and saying, I write the songs. Wow, I'm great. And I always thought, yikes. I mean, it's catchy, but wow, that's a great confidence to sing from that point of view. And then you told me what it's actually about, which I don't know
I
if you
didn't
want
know
to.
it until I just talked to him the other day on the phone, and he told me. He says, "You know what that song is about?" And he told me the story. Go ahead and tell the story.
Yeah, well, I heard from a source very close to the writer himself. Robbie told me that he was told the song is basically about interviewing God, if it were.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to talk to the OG, the original writer,
Amen.
and ask about music. So the song is actually coming from a totally different vantage point, and it really turned the way I looked at the song on its head. And then Robbie and I were talking about it, and then we said, okay, so it's almost like a gospel song. And then we just kind of launched into this other direction. And like we often do, I was editing up until about 20 minutes before the
That's
show.
right. Yeah, it was still wet. The ink was
But we
still
got it.
wet.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I guess why don't we just and so what you and I did, we did a little homage to the writer of that song,
that's
who
right.
was Bruce Johnston, and so we did our rendition of "I Write the Songs," and I'm going to play it for our Jam and Java audience. So this
Yes.
was just finished earlier today, peeps.
I've been alive forever, yeah. And I wrote the very first song. I put the words and the melodies together. I'm music, and I write the song. The
Oh, that was so much fun.
The flying pianist. I think that's my favorite part of the whole thing, where you're slowly flying across the screen.
You know, you are such an amazing talent, and I've said this to so many people. Not only you're a great singer, you're a great songwriter, but you have all this behind the scenes talent as well. I mean, you have such a great eye and great ability as a videographer, video editor, whatever creator, whatever word you want to say. Tell us, I mean, because you did that video today, basically last night and today.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's, I have always really loved behind the scenes stuff. I like to find out about how things are put together and how things work. And the editing kind of came out of necessity with quarantine. I used to just edit. I mean, I've worked in Logic, Pro Tools, Cubase, whatever, DP for about 10, 15 years, but the video editing kind of came out of necessity, just with being locked down and having these ideas, but running up against the limit of what I knew how to do. So thankfully I was able to take the time, since there's so much time now, and learn how to edit and green screen and make purple Robbie fly through the air. And I'm just so happy to get to have this time to do it, because otherwise, you're just always so busy, you put off learning things.
I
So
know
it's
for
been
me
good.
too. I've been a touring musician for a couple of years now,
Yeah, a couple years.
about twice as long as you've been alive, basically. But uh, and all of a sudden, and you have been touring for the last few years a lot,
Yeah,
all over the
yeah,
world, literally. And then all of a
yeah.
sudden, overnight, basically, we're stopped. Everything is stopped. So now we have to put on, and so it's been a lot of fun for me because I'm actually in the studio now all the time, and I've never had a chance to be in the studio as much as I am now. So I'm getting all my studio chops together, and I'm loving it. And I know that you're being creative every day.
Yeah, I mean, for your listeners, I mean, you and I have talked about this before, but for those listening, Robbie and I have talked lately about, we miss touring, and we miss that, which is such an important part of our lives. But in this season, it's really interesting to get, like you said, to spend so much time in the studio and to just get to stay in a really productive and prolific mindset. It's not something that you really get to do, because there's always a gig or a tour that comes in the way. So it's an interesting change. I can't wait to play live again, but it's okay.
And we're going to talk about your live concert that you did last week in a few minutes. But before we do that, I want to do one more song that we did as an homage, as a tribute to one of the guests on Ray and Steve, and that is our buddy Joey D.
Yes, the peppermint twist. I think this is one of the most fun videos that you and I have done.
And you know what? Joey D, for our Litchfield audience. By the way, when we talk about Litchfield, Litchfield is a small town in southern Illinois, if you don't know. It's a small town in southern Illinois, a population around 7,000 people, and I'm from there. My wife Carla is from there, and yeah, and we've gone back with the Robinson brothers and done a couple concerts. And last year, when we went back there, last October, uh, Joey D came out and performed with us, and it was so much fun. Of course, we did the peppermint twist. How can you not do the peppermint twist when Joey D's
You
there?
got to.
You got to.
You
So
got to.
he was a guest on Reach Out with Ray and Steve the other night, and so we did our tribute to him. And without getting too much into it, why don't we just go ahead and play this for the audience? I mean, if you don't know the song, the Peppermint Twist, you've been under a rock for the last 50 years. So
It's true. Yeah, I think the song speaks for itself.
it does. It goes something. Oh, it's got a new dance, and it goes like this.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, they got a new dance and it goes like this. The name of the dance is the peppermint twist.
Joey D taught the world how to peppermint twist.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
That was so much fun. I just remember how fast it was.
That's right.
When we were singing.
Yeah, that was about we finished that in an afternoon, basically.
Yeah. Oh, I meant the tempo though. What is
yeah.
it like?
That's true.
It's
was
great.
fast.
I love it. I love it.
Joey
cardio
D. Now, I'll tell you what, Joey D. And at 80 years, Joey is 80. That was Joey D. Of course, in the black and white portion of the video.
60. What was that? 63.
62. 1962. And that was the first year that Frankie Valli had Sherry. That's his first big hit.
Wow, I can't believe that was 62.
Yep, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And Frankie Valli and Joey D are still going strong out there.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see people doing what they love and sustaining it for a lifetime. I mean, that's the goal.
Joey D has some historical precedence too, in many respects. His band, he had the first integrated band to have a #1 record.
Amazing. Yeah,
And
I mean
also,
that alone.
And he had a kind of a school of rock. And do you know some of the people who were in his band?
Yes, I believe a small, not well-known guitarist named Jimmy something.
Yep, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah,
was in his band. Can you believe that?
And then his singers, the backup singers, was the Ronettes. Yes, my gosh, I can't imagine walking into a club and getting to see legends like that.
I know. As part
before
of the
they were known.
And three of the Rascals, Felix Cavallari, Eddie Brigatti, and Gene Cornish, the 3 of the 4 Rascals were all in his band before they became the Rascals.
Isn't that amazing? Loading in through the kitchen, probably. Yeah. Like we musicians do.
And who else was? And then he had another guitar player that later gave up the guitar for an acting career.
Who was that?
You don't know? And Joe Pesci was in his band.
Oh, right.
It's got to be the only band that had Joe Pesci and Jimi Hendrix in it.
Yeah, I can't think of another.
I mean, so that's Joey D. And Joey D and he's a dear friend and he's a great brother in the Lord. And we talk at least once a week,
That's so cool. He seems like a really nice guy. I mean, I just talked to him when we were on the show super briefly, but really nice guy.
I see John Michael Marty is on tonight.
Yes. Hi, John.
Yep. And he added, and Joe Pesci. Yeah. How crazy.
Right. That's right.
Wild. So, well, you talked earlier about playing live and doing concerts, and we missed that. Now, you had an amazing experience last week. Was it 2 weeks or was it last week? Now I'm getting.
It was the show was the 16th.
Okay,
yeah,
so it's 2 weeks now.
2 weeks. Wow, it feels so recent. But my new record came out on October 15th, and we did a live stream on the 6th. Oh wait, or did we do it the show? No, I think the stream was the 15th. The record came out on the 16th. That's right. So we all we COVID tested to make sure we were all negative, and then full band. WG Snuffy Walden on guitar, my buddy Jonathan Richards, my good buddy on bass, and then just Alex Nestor. Alex, the great singer.
Yeah. Alex is a Jammin' Java friend. Of course.
She is, and just an amazing singer and a good friend of mine, Molly Weaver and Martin Diller. And then Ty Bailey. So we had a full band and we all tested and got to play together. And before that, I hadn't played live since February when I recorded my live record. So it was just so incredible to get to be close to other people without a mask on playing together, especially after so long. So we did a live stream. We did 2 concerts, one at noon and another at 7. To help people across all the different time zones. And yeah, it kind of was our release party, our release concert.
And I watched the concert. It was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we have a couple of clips. So why don't we play one of the clips from your record.
Yes.
And the
Is
first one, do you want to set that up? That's the one with.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Made to Last. Yep. The first song is a tune called Made to Last. I wrote this with Snuffy Walden, and it was one of the first singles off the new album 2020, available now.
Okay. And it goes something like this.
This is a song that Snuffy and I wrote together pretty recently, and it's so much fun to play. I'm not looking for simple. Life don't work that way. I'm just looking for something that won't fade away. If it's made to last, baby, can't you see? If it's made to last, then it's good enough for me. You don't walk on water, but you keep my feet on solid ground. And when this world gets crazy, you know I'm gonna be around. If it's made to last, oh, baby, can't you see? Oh, if it's made to last, then it's good enough for me. Made a promise that I'm never gonna break it. No way, no how. Whatever comes our way, I know we're gonna make it. We got something, I know that it is made to last. Baby, can't you see? Baby, can't you see? If it's made to last, then it's good enough for me. Yes, it is. If it's made to last, then it's good enough for me. Thank you. Oh my God.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a long time coming because we finished it all back in February, and then there was going to be a tour to promote it, but the tour got pushed from April to October, back to November, then finally canceled. So it just has kept moving around.
Well, it sure sounded good. And I'll tell you what, Snuffy Walden is a great guitar player. Boy, he sounded great. Talk
He
about
is.
Snuffy a little. You've been associated with Snuffy for how long now?
Oh my gosh. Since the dawn of time.
Yes.
Snuffy and I first met when I was guest starring on a show called Providence. and I had a singing role, and he was the composer for that. So I went to his studio to do the pre-record, and at that time he was working on a bunch of different projects, so we just met very briefly. But I got his email address and a CD that he signed, which I still have. And about 8 years later, I was watching Friday Night Lights, which he did the music for, and I loved the score, and I saw his name in the credits. So I thought, oh wow, let me see if he'll still have the same email address. So I sent him an email, and I sent him a video of a Christmas song I did at my high school Christmas concert, and that was 2009, or right in going into 2010. And then we ended up meeting in person, and he became my mentor, and he's like a family member. It's we call it family, those friends that are so close. It's like family. So yeah, we go way back.
And what a talented guy! And as you say, he composes for a lot of TV shows now and movies.
Yeah,
West
yeah.
Wing, right?
He did West Wing, yeah. So he was just working on that. They did a West Wing reboot. Say that 5 times fast.
And I know he's a Texas boy too, right?
He is. He's a Texas boy, but he's been in California since the '80s. But you're always still a bit of a Texan, I think.
It's funny.
So
the longer I'm in this business, I associate a lot of my buddies who are in the business with kind of where they're from, and he knew Warren Ham from back in those days.
yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of great musicians from Texas.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A lot of great guitar players too. Yeah.
And Litchfield too.
And Litchfield too. These Robinson brothers, these guys, gosh, something in the water.
By the way, and speaking of great musicians, I saw on our comments, our buddy Gary Swan is on.
Is Gary here?
He was.
Hi,
there.
Gary.
I haven't seen, but I saw him earlier. He was raving about you actually on here.
Oh, hi, Gary. See, I'm doing so much talking. I'm falling down on my job of reading the comments here. Thanks, Gary.
Yep. And Gary is a great Hammond organ player.
He is.
He's from, now I forget what. Is it North Carolina, Gary? I think you're from North Carolina. Oh, Richmond. No, Richmond, Virginia. That's where he's from.
I remember at the last NAMM, well, not the last one. I guess this was probably 2 or 3 NAMMs ago. We were all hanging out, you and me and him, at Starbucks.
And you came and sang at the Hammond booth. He and I and you. We did a performance there at the Hammond booth.
That was so much fun. Yeah, we did People Get Ready, and we did Presence of the Lord. Yeah.
Oh, there he is back now. You see?
Back. Let me scroll down. Hey, I see it. Hi, Gary.
There he is.
Part of the Ham fam.
Yep. From the
I wish I could play piano better so I could be a part of the Ham fam.
Yeah. Well.
Oh well.
You
not
can't
to
do
be.
everything. I mean, you do just about everything in this business. So now let's go back to your album. By the way, congratulations! Your album's been out about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, almost.
World, you're on the Billboard charts. You're ahead of what's his name?
That Bob guy.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah. I'm so amazed and so happy. The album came out, let's see, not last Friday, but the Friday before. So we don't have this week's charting until Tuesday. It takes a while to come out. But yeah, for the last Billboard, we were at 91 on the overall albums chart. So it was really a surprise. It was a cool thing.
That's an amazing feat for an independent artist. You're up there against Capitol Records, against Columbia, against all these big major labels with billions of dollars behind them, and you, with your tenacious talent, along with your buddy Snuffy, were able to just. By the way, I see Snuffy's on.
Yeah, I saw his name pop up. Hey, Snuff! Texas in the house. Look out.
Texas in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really an awesome surprise because we didn't spend money on ads or promotion really or anything like that. other than just some buddies we had help us out. But it's all just people listening to it and wanting to buy it, which is such a gift. Gosh, I can't believe it.
We're in a whole new. I mean, this is a whole new scenario, of course, whole new paradigm that we're in right now with record companies and all this stuff and how an artist connects their music. I was talking about this with John Michael Marty on the radio the other day about
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I mean, the business has always gone through crazy times. If you go back to the 50s when the guys in there, they were building the studios. They were literally like, what's his, Sam Phillips and like Norman Petty, who did the Buddy Holly stuff, and all these guys, and up in Chicago, Putnam. And they were building the studios, and then they were producing the records, and then putting them out themselves, or else talking to DJs. And then it changes every decade. It seems how music is connected to the public, and we're in a whole.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how it's going to play out.
Nobody knows, that's for sure. I think the cool thing is how many more people have a chance now to make music and distribute it, which is a beautiful thing, and it's also challenging in a certain respect because it's hard to get above the noise, as people say. But I mean, even 20, 30 years ago, unless you could get in with a label, you couldn't really get your voice heard as much. So it's beautiful that now people in their homes can make music on their laptops and get it out. So it's
here
just
we are out of our homes. You're in your home and I'm in my house here. And here
yeah.
we are talking to all these people out there in the world.
And thank goodness that we have this technology, because my goodness, if this pandemic happened about 20 years ago, it'd be really hard to, how would independent artists make a living? I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to your record.
Yes.
Your record that's on the Billboard charts is so cool. We've got another song that we're going to play. You want to set that one up?
Yes, this song is called On 10. And some amps go to 11. We almost went to 11, but it's only 10. But it's just a song. It's a celebration song. It's a song about feeling wonderful and letting everybody know.
Well, here it is, On 10, from Sarah Nimitz, Snuffy Walden, and rock on.
2, 3, 4, 1.
All I want is everything. Tell me, is that too much? I've been running since I learned to walk. Can't get enough.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Good night. I'm on 10. No, you can't stop it now. I'm on 10. Yeah, you think you can. Think you can. Oh, I'm on 10. I'm on 10. I'm on 10. Hey.
Wow. I think you're
So
on
much fun.
11, kid.
I'm on 11. I'm on 11 now.
Well, we need to get now. What you need to do now is get to number 1, because you need to climb up those Billboard charts to number 1. Tell people how they can get this great album.
Thank you for the little spotlight here. Yes, I would love to tell people. We if you go to sarahnimitz.com, that's SARANIEMIETZ.com. If you made it all the way to the end of that, bless you. sarahnimitz.com. And there are links to all of the different places you can download it, to my page where you can get vinyl, DVD, signed CD, digital download, streaming. All of the information is there on my website.
Cool. You should have had an easier name. I mean, gosh, if you're going to be a superstar, you have to have an easier name.
I'm telling you, that's what they say. But I started over 20 years ago, and I've been in it too long to change now.
No,
So
you don't want to change.
I'm who I am.
And your wonderful parents would never forgive you if you changed your name.
No, I couldn't let down the Nimitz legacy. There's not so many Nimitzes around, so I gotta keep it strong.
Well, that is so cool that you're on the charts, because that is such an amazing feat. I mean, it's off. It's off the charts that you're on the charts. No question about it.
Thank you. Really excited. I've put out 4 full-length albums and 3 or 4 EPs, but this is the first one to have gotten on Billboard, so it's really exciting.
Pretty cool. And congratulations to Snuffy too.
Yes. I wrote a lot of this music with him. We produced it together. No way would have been possible without him. And it's kind of been a way to capture the last 10 years of live playing that we've been doing. So I'm glad we could kind of like capture it in this little time capsule.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I do, since I do every month, is get a chance just to play something here in the studio live with you, myself, and I, unfortunately. But
those 3 are so good.
Quite a trio. And it's so one of the things, and you and I have talked about melody, and I love melody. I'm a big proponent of. I'm a student of melody. I think melody is so important, and I think Mozart had these brilliant melodies that somehow connect to people hundreds of years later. Paul McCartney has that gift of melody that somehow connects to the world. Bob Gaudio, who wrote most of Frankie Valli songs, has that gift of melody. And so I don't think you can't analyze and say, oh, okay, this is a good melody. It's just that whatever connects people, somehow those melodies that touch people.
That's the beautiful thing. You can analyze it, and you can definitely find similarities and commonalities between these different great writers, but there is an extra something intangible, that you can't graph it out. It's just there,
Amen. And so one of the I thought I would play a song that actually, you know what? And I was starting to play this tonight, and I never know what I'm going to do. By the way, once I start, I just let the spirit flow, and we'll see what happens. There's nothing preconceived here.
Man,
as I was thinking about this song, I love these melodies that have these leaping intervals, and now everybody kind of knows. As a matter of fact, this is not a leaping interval. If it goes. right? I mean, if you hear those two notes, you know, isn't it amazing? With two notes, you can hear that. It took Beethoven 4 notes. Beethoven had to go. Well, here, let me get a string sound here. Beethoven had to use 4 notes, but John Williams only needed 2 notes. But there's a melody, this octave leap goes. Most people know that song. And
Oh
that
yeah.
that same, now check this out. See if you know the name of this song, and it's also got a similar melody to it.
Of course.
Isn't that interesting? Then
So
there's
take me
another
out to
song.
the soccer, right?
What's that?
Take me out to the soccer or to the football or what is it?
Well, and you and I have a collaboration on that song that has really been a lot of fun. And
That was such a fun one. That was one of our early collabs too.
that's right. And then there's another song that's got that leap, and it's the only song that has ever won an Oscar that was sung by a cricket. And it goes like this. With those octave leaps. So I'm going to play, I don't know what song I'm going to play, something with one of those octave leaps, or maybe I'll throw a bunch of them in. So I'm going to go over to this camera here. I'm going to let you relax for a minute and
Enjoy the show.
enjoy the show. See how I can get there. It goes Robbie Lives. There. Oh, you got it, Joel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the studio. See, I've got a bunch. I need more keyboards, Um, so I keep telling Carla, my wife Carla, that I need more keyboards. And I said that the other day to her, and she says, "What you need is another keyboard." And so I said, "Oh, that's cool." So I got this new synthesizer over here. Wonder what that
That's so
sounds like.
nice of her. It's so nice of Carla to recommend that.
I agree. That's not very loud. So I'm not. Well, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna play this, and I also am gonna mute you here.
I can mute me if you want.
I can do it here. There we go. And all right, so here we go. This is songs that have an octave melody. All right, let's see here. Let's see. It goes something like. All right. Let's get you back in here. How do we do this? Oh, we do that. We do this. There we go.
Play ball! He knocks it out of the park. The stands are all standing. They're screaming.
Now,
So
if
beautiful.
anybody does like that song, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," they have to go and check out our version of "Take Me Out to
Yes,
the Ball Game."
that's right. It is available on my YouTube. It's also available on Robbie's YouTube. You are new to the YouTube party, but you've been around there for what, 2 months now?
Not
Maybe?
even 3
Not even.
weeks, I think.
I was just thinking though, what a gorgeous middle section. Da, 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 da,
Isn't that great?
da, da. Yeah. They don't write them like that anymore.
You know,
Beautiful.
boy, that is a great song. And well, the Judy Garland thing too. You remind me of Judy Garland because you have that kind of charisma and that vocal ability that she had, which was just off the charts.
Thank you. That was more Liza. Thank you.
You just have to. What you have to do though is not end up like Judy did. She had. I mean, it. Um, have you seen? There was a movie out last year, I think, and it was kind of
I,
her in her
I've
last
not
few
seen it
weeks.
yet. My mom watched it and quite enjoyed it, but I have not.
It was
I've
brilliant.
got.
And it was really moving for me because it took place in a place called the Talk of the Town, which is in London. It was a nightclub in London, and I used to go over there with Buddy Greco. We would play there, and
Wow.
the music director that they portrayed was the same music director that I dealt with there. You know,
Wow. Was it a pretty accurate portrayal?
it was, yes, it was, and they had, you know, that place is not there. It was in. Well, I forget what district in there in London, but it was great. And I have such great memories of going. I was a punk kid, and I was going over there, and I would conduct this full orchestra, and I would. It was like it was quite an experience. One of the things that I did, I remember one of the asides to that was the because we had a full piece band. We had like a 20-piece band, you know, strings
Wow.
and horns and
Could you
everything.
imagine clubs having the budget for that nowadays?
Yeah,
Certainly not now,
yeah.
but
And this was a great place. They had all kinds of great performers. The international stars that would perform at this place.
wow.
And after the rehearsal, I remember the first rehearsal, and I wanted to hang with the cats. You know, I wanted to get to know the musicians there, and like I always like to do.
Yeah, that's where the party's at.
Well, and so after the rehearsal, before the show, I remember they would all go to the pub, and so I went with them to the pub. And I realized after that first day, I cannot go and hang with these guys because they drank over there like it was crazy. You know, they would drink before the show, right out. It was like, but that's part of the culture there. At least it was. You know.
It definitely can be for some places. Yeah, unfortunately, that's hard to sustain. You know, that lifestyle doesn't last a long time.
No, it
Unfortunately,
doesn't. And Judy paid the price ultimately in the end for her abuses and stuff, and it was sad to see all that.
such a
It,
talent. Such a
oh,
whew,
extraordinary! Boy, that voice and the act, everything about her, you know, was
yeah, yeah.
so. I want to, you know, I have. one of my friends is Doc Kupka,
Yes.
and Doc Kupka is. We should also talk about Jam for Jesus a little bit.
Yes, it's almost time.
Every year for the last 28 years, and this will be the 29th year, we've had a concert around Christmas time called Jam for Jesus. And basically, I get a chance to call a bunch of my friends, and they all come about. We have typically like a 20-piece band of all-star musicians, and then another 10 singers of all-star world-class singers. And you've been a part of that for the last, I don't know how many years.
Probably, I want to say I started it when I was in high school, which has not been for quite a while. So I don't know, at least more than 10 years.
Yeah. Even when you were in high school, I remember I was minister, or I was the music director, whatever, the worship leader at a church over in Castaic. And
Prince of Peace. Yeah.
Prince of Peace. And I would go out on the road, and I would need substitutes when I was gone. And I think you were still in high school, and you were leading worship at that church. It's just amazing.
Yeah, no, I remember that. That was so incredible, and I'm kind of shocked you entrusted me with that duty. And looking back,
Well, I knew you could do it, whatever. And so Jam for Jesus, our Barry sax player for the last number of years is the amazing Doc Kupka. If people don't know about Doc Kupka, what can you tell people about Doc Kupka?
Of course, if people didn't know about Doc, I would simply say to them, "What is hip?" Doc Kupka is, he is one of the founding members, or I guess the second highest member of Tower of Power. He's been a part of all those iconic hits, and he's been with the band since the Genesis, right? They've
over 50
been
years.
around over 50 years. Yeah, written so many great songs, and just plays his face off, and is such a nice person too. A great guy.
He's the
great writer,
Barry sax player on the planet,
without question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No question. And it's funny because people inside the music business know Doc Kupka. They know Tower Power.
Of
Outside,
course.
it's not as they're not as popular as they are inside the music business.
It's true. When I think of musicians bands, of course, my favorite band, Steely Dan, comes to mind.
Yeah.
But I would say even more so probably than Steely Dan, there's that gulf between what the not muso person is into and then what musicians are into. And for some reason, I don't know why they're not wildly popular with everyone, but Tower of Power is more of an inside thing.
And if you ever get a chance to hear Tower Power live, my friends, not you necessarily, but they are just a world-class band, and
they are, and the singers they get to come sing too are incredible.
And so Doc Kupka and I he's been our regular Barry sax player, Jam for Jesus, for the last number of years.
Yes.
And he and I have been writing songs together, which is really cool. And we are going to do a song. We're going to play a song that you sang for us.
Yes.
And it's called My Faith, His
My
Grace.
Faith, His Grace.
And let's just go to that song. So Doc Kupka's song, sung by the amazing Sarah Nimitz, and it goes like this.
My faith is grace, trusting in His word. My faith is grace, will naturally occur. My trust in His plan, I will faithfully fulfill. My trust is just to do His will. My faith is grace, with a debt of gratitude. My faith, His grace, is an altered attitude. My trust in His plan is reborn in me today. My trust has helped me find a way. Sometimes the best of what we seek is the
Yeah,
Fino, we got Fino there on guitar.
that's right. That was
Oh, yeah.
the Trinity Praise Band, along with Fino Roverato, who plays in the praise band at your church, Bethlehem Lutheran.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Oh, such an amazing player. And, you know, if music doesn't work out, he could be a comedian. This man is so funny. Oh, my gosh.
You know, we were on the you know, I met him with Frankie Valli's band. Of course,
That's
most
right. That's
people
right.
I know have been in Frankie Valli's band at one time or another. Interestingly enough,
I
except for
want to be in
you.
fourth season. I know. Why can't we have a female fifth season?
Well, you have to talk to Frankie about that. He has his perspectives.
Fair enough.
But and Fino, we'd be on the road, and my brother Rex, who was also the bass player and bass singer for the Four Seasons for 25 years.
Love him. Incredible guy. Incredible player. Your brother is awesome.
And of course, he's one half of the Robinson Brothers band.
That's right. That's right.
Although, if you ask my other brothers, you know, they would say not necessarily. He's not. He's less than half. But
Ouch. Ouch.
there are
Ouch.
other brothers. My mom
Other
at Jam for Jesus the other. No, I can't digress to that. I can't remember all the punchlines, but Fino and Rex on the road together. It was
Oh,
like I couldn't. It was like a kindergarten class, and trying to keep those two guys.
there's the show, and then there's the other show.
And Fino and Rex together are just insane. And I remember stopping a rehearsal and saying, "What are we, a clown band?" And I think they picked that up and just ran with it too. You know.
Honk, honk. Yeah. Oh, love those guys. Love those
But
guys.
those guys both play at Jam for Jesus,
That's right. That's right.
and
And then quite often, Craig Pilo on
Craig Pilo's
drums
the
for the
drummer,
last many years, as long as I've been there.
Well, can you name most of the people who have been regulars for years?
Woof, probably, but now I'm feeling on the spot. I'm afraid I'll forget somebody and then
Well,
be kicking myself all night. Let me
Well,
let
there've
you
been
do
so
it.
many people in 28 years. We have had so many people. I mean, and sadly to say, many of them have passed away because it's been so long. But Tony Galla, who's on right, he's been a regular for years.
Yes,
Warren Ham has been a regular for years. Richie Gahate Garcia has been a regular for
yes.
years. Harry Kim on trumpet. Um, uh, who am I missing? Trombone Nick Lane has been a regular for years.
Alex
Uh,
Nestor.
Alex Nestor, she's been doing it since she was a young teenager. She's been almost since almost 20 years. My gosh,
Wow, amazing.
yeah. But
You know, like you said, yeah.
one of the questions I get the last couple months, what are you gonna do for Jam for Jesus? When are we gonna do? As a matter of fact, people have been saying that all the time, and
I ask you at least, once every other month,
I know. So and where we're at this point in time for those people who are fans of Jam for Jesus is it looks like we're going to do some kind of a combination live stream, probably do some live stuff and maybe retrospectives because I have some video stuff. Some of it's archaic video stuff. Back in the
Yeah.
days when you used to have to spin the crank, for the videos. Um,
Yes,
we
and where-
yeah. But so I thought I would pull out some retrospectives and maybe we'll do. It won't be a 3.5 hour show like it normally is because I don't think people can watch that on their computers. But
It's hard to do that on a computer. Yeah, you kind of got to be there and be feeding off that energy.
so we are going to do something, and to be determined exactly what that something is. So sometime mid-December we'll put together Jam for Jesus.
I'm so excited. I like the idea of you being like the the evening talk show host. Sitting there behind the desk and saying, and then I remember 1998 when we did this.
And when you see some of these old clips, it's almost a hoot just to see how young everybody was then.
I loved when you obviously it was for a sad reason, but I loved when you did the 9/11 retrospective and you played some of the clips from that original show back in 2001. Yeah, see everyone.
And Gary Swan, who's on, he's been a regular too.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, and Edgar sometimes played. Yeah.
And well, Jam for Jesus, the cool thing is Jam for Jesus is older than you are.
It's true. That's why you can't cancel it this year because otherwise we'll catch up,
Yeah, that would be no good.
Can't let that happen.
Well, so we are going to do Jam for Jesus, and we've got one more clip that we're going to play. And but before we do that, I want to. Well, I'm going to thank you in a minute, but what do you want to say about your record or anything else that's going on? You're all over the internet. I mean, gosh, you are the most prolific person I've ever met. So, what's going on in the world of Sarah?
That's quite a compliment coming from you. I don't think Robbie sleeps more than 2 hours a month. I don't know how you have it's incredible. So thank you for that. But I guess I would like to say thanks for everyone who's been watching this. And I know you have a lot of choices, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. So thanks for watching Jam and Java tonight. But if you have not, if you would check out my record 2020 on my website, that would be awesome. And I'm going to start my 60-second Sarah series up again, which is I put out a 60-second long video, and I'll do multiple ones and take requests. So that's coming again. I'm starting a podcast, writing a bunch, and I guess I would just encourage everybody to stay hopeful, hang on to hope. I know these are crazy times, but we'll get through it, just like we always do.
Amen, amen, amen. And the song we're going to close out with is a song that goes back. I wrote it back when I was over at Bethlehem Lutheran, and uh, it came from a lot of the songs I would write. I would take from pastor sermons, and
Mm.
by the way, before we get off on that, I wonder if we need to respond to any of these
Yes.
anything here.
Let us see.
Brian Colston says, Sarah, you make me smile always with positivity.
Thank you. It's the only way. The alternative, I've tried and I don't like it. So
Well, you know what? Every day is a gift. And it's such a
that's why they
blessing.
call it the present.
Amen. You got it. Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is God's gift. That's why they call it the present.
I've never heard the entire thing. I like that.
Ah, yeah. I don't know who conceived that, but it's a brilliant saying, no question.
It is, and every day we get a new chance to give it another shot.
Yeah. And one of the things that we never get back, and Frankie Valli likes to say this all the time, the biggest crime in the world is killing time, because you only get a certain amount of time.
Yeah. Does he say that when rehearsals go long or somebody shows up late?
I'll tell you what, Frankie Valli he's an amazing guy. This is a guy who's still at 86 years old, still driven and passionate about the music, and he gets so into it. It's amazing that at this stage of his life, and he's got, his success is legendary.
He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone.
No, and although, you know what, he has not won yet, and we were talking about this with Bruce Johnson too. Frankie Valli has never won a Grammy.
That, I cannot believe that. That's incomprehensible to me.
It is. And he was, you know what, one of his songs was just number 1 too last week.
That's right. Well, you said he's got a new record coming out, so maybe
jazz album coming out with Joey DiFrancesco, pretty good organ player.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not exactly part of the Ham Fam, cool. But yeah, part of the organ sporgan.
Yep. So Jam for Jesus, we're going to do that at some point. Thanks everybody for watching Jam and Java, and so we're going to go out with a song that I wrote back, like I said, when I was over at Bethlehem Lutheran about 20 plus years ago. And I remember you came and sang this, and I wish I could find the clip of you singing it when you were a teenager over at Prince of Peace.
My mom's got it.
Oh,
I can find it for you.
She's got to send it to me then.
Yeah.
And it's called "Touch Me with His Grace," "Touch Me with Your Grace," and talking to the Lord. Mm-hmm. And so when I remember seeing that clip or something, and then I thought, oh, well, that would be a good song to do. So a few weeks ago, we did this. We put it together for a Trinity Lutheran Church service as a special music.
Yes.
It's all about grace, because as we talked about, Martin Luther nailed those 95 theses on the 1517 and
when it
changed
went
the world.
viral,
Yep,
the
and
first
it did go
viral
viral.
post.
That's right. And that's why All Saints Day, which is yesterday, we are all saints. There's only two kinds of people. There are saints and there are ain'ts. You're either going to heaven or you're not. And that's what this grace is all about. God's riches at Christ's expense. Nothing we can do to earn it. We can't take a stairway to heaven. All that kind of stuff. So this is Sarah Nimitz doing a song called "Touch Me with Your Grace." Hold on, let me find it here.
I keep telling people I'm a saint, but you know they don't believe me.
I think this is it. Let's see.
Hold me, touch me, reach out your hand to my heart, my Jesus, heal me, speak to my mind and my soul, my precious Lord. Jesus, I know you are with me. Your presence is here in this place. Rain down your mercy and comfort this child. Hold me, touch me with your grace. Love you, serve you, with all that I am, I will serve you, my Jesus. Just you, I need you. I pray with my heart and my soul, my precious Lord. Jesus, I know you are with me. Your presence is here in this place. Rain down your mercy and comfort this child. Hold me, touch me with your grace. Love you, oh, serve you with all that I am. I will serve you, Jesus. Trust you, I need you. I pray with my heart and my soul, my precious Lord. Jesus, I know you are with me. Your presence is here in this place. Rain down your mercy and comfort this child. Hold me, touch me with your grace. Hold me, touch me with your grace.
Nice job. Nice way to go
Great,
out
nice
too.
song. Nice song you wrote there. Wow, I haven't listened to this in a minute. It's a beautiful tune.
It's got all those leaping melodies that I like so much.
Got all those leaping melodies that we love and that make it hard on the singer, you know?
Yeah, that's right. You got to push the singer. That's one thing that I've learned.
You gotta push the singer because we aren't gonna push ourselves.
So, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank
That's
you,
a
thank
wrap.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being a part of this. What a
Thank you
treat
for
our-
having me.
This is such a treat
After
for our
many
Jam and
weeks.
Java audience.
Oh, I love this audience, and I have been watching this program for many, many weeks. And it is so awesome to finally be on here. Thank you for the invite.
Well, I can't wait till the next time, and I'm sure the audience is the same way. So, that being said, all you Jam and Java people out there, come and see us again next Monday, every Monday night, 7 o'clock, California time.
That's right. And go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers, champions of the world. Hey, how do you like that? See you
I
later,
like it all right.
kid. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.